What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and welcome to Fudge Muppet. Today is a very good day for Fallout 76 information. We found out a whole bunch of new things. There was an IGN interview with Todd Howard, and then a few hours after we had a making of Fallout 76 documentary, and it all had a bunch of new information we'll be analyzing in upcoming videos. But here are 7 massive takeaways that I thought were really cool and very important for everyone to know. So firstly, there's a thing being introduced called mutations. So basically in this game, the more radiation you get, the more chance you get of becoming mutated and getting these mutations. And what they actually do, which I think is really cool because it reminds me of traits from previous Fallout games, is that they actually lead to effects that have pros and cons. So it's not just like a negative thing where the more irradiated you get, the more sickly you get. Instead, you can get a mutation which has a big disadvantage but also a big advantage. We were told we could heal these mutations if we didn't want them, but if we did want to keep them, apparently there are ways to do that. It seems that the large majority of them are gameplay related, but we were told that some do change you visually as well, so I'm extremely excited for these mutations. The second thing I want to talk about is how many players are on the map. This was a huge question I had. It's now confirmed. So how many players will there be on a map 4 times as big as Fallout 4? Well, Todd said dozens, but now we actually know that the balancing act has led to 24 people on the server. We were told between 24 and 32 people you can discover on the map at one time. We were also told there would be 12 on 12 death matches and things like that. So it's not going to be like 80 people on the map or 100 people on the map. It seems like it's going to be much, much less. And we were also told they're trying to make the game fun, whether you want to play a 12 on 12 deathmatch or if you want to just be with 4 friends playing co-op together. The third thing, the survival features. We were told about how some of these will work. We were told, which I'm happy about, that they didn't go too deep into it. For example, brushing your teeth, it's not a fun thing you want to do in a video game, but we will have to eat and drink. And they even told us a story about someone discovering a herd of cats and being very happy because they actually got to eat them because their character was starving. Now, we will be able to build a cooking stove to make food more efficient for us. Diseases are back. Items degrade again, which, to be honest, wasn't my favorite feature, but I can understand why it's there in a survival game, and food will even rot. They also touched on the idea that if you are good at cooking things, you could sell your food for lots of money. If you have the best ribeye steak, you can ask for 40 caps from another player and then give it to them. So I guess that's also confirmed a player trading system of sorts. 4, it's also confirmed there are ways to specialize your character through what they're calling perk cards. This seems like a very different player build system, and we're gonna have a whole other video coming on this because we really want to go in depth because, as you know, we love builds here at Fudge Muppet, but these special cards can be used to personalize and specialize your character. So you can get cards to make you good at medical stuff or at building workshop stuff, or if you want to be more combat oriented, there are cards for that. But basically, there are these perk cards which you pick every time you level up, and there's a limited amount that you can actually have active at any time. So if you want to re-roll your character's perks, you simply will need to swap out your perk cards. So you can have a bunch, but you can only have this set number active at a time. So in theory, maybe even if you can unlock every single perk card in the game, you still wouldn't be able to have them all active and in effect and then be a god character. You can also share these perk cards with a party, which I found interesting, meaning that a team of players can choose to specialize when they want to work together more efficiently. So if I'm a combat character and you're also a combat character, but you also have medic perk cards, you could choose to play more of a medic role at that time if that's what you wanted to do, and let me focus on the combat side of things. Weirdly, it also seems to indicate that there are some sort of skills which are separate from the perk cards. I noticed this on an intelligence perk card called Hacker, which says gain +1 hacking skill. There could be more perk cards than what was shown, but we did just see 3 perk cards per special stat, and within those perks there are perk ranks. It's a multiplayer game, so I'd imagine there's going to be less perks than a single player game, but they still do look interesting too. For example, in the charisma perk cards, there's one called inspirational. So on a team, you and your teammates will gain 5% more XP. That seems to be rank 1. There's also Lone Wanderer, also in charisma. So when you're adventuring alone, you gain 10% more AP regen and take 10% less damage. Again, I think this is rank 1, but it's a great incentive for people who want to play alone or don't have friends to play with. It also means that it will be less scary if you are playing alone and you get ambushed by 3 people who decide to team up on you. If you've taken the Lone Wanderer perk, you're going to be more prepared. There's also a vampire perk card here. It says blood packs now satisfy thirst, which is one of the survival elements, no longer irradiate you, and they heal 50% more. So that's pretty cool. Detail number 5 I want to talk about is that there are these things called public workshops in the game that are inhabited by creatures that you can actually claim. So you find these public workshops, they're filled with strong creatures. If you go in and kill the monsters in there, you can claim this workshop for yourself. After you take them, there can be events spawning around them. It really depends on the place, but basically from there you'll be able to get access to resources like ore, for example, which we were told we could then make bullets from. And of course, as you guys know, we have the camp instrument that we can place anywhere to build settlements. But even though they say you can place it anywhere, it did sound like there's going to be some sort of restrictions. For example, you wouldn't be able to just camp outside the vault, things like that. But basically crafting is a huge part of the game, and it seems like we're going to have a lot of freedom with it. We were also told we'll want to find very specific fauna and flora to kill or harvest to get the right components to craft a huge variety of different things. Topic number 6, your settlements go with you when you leave the game, so people can't destroy it when you leave. Now, I find this a really weird topic. I still don't really understand all the implications this could have. It leaves me with a lot of questions, but basically it's confirmed your settlement goes with you when you leave the game. It doesn't stay there, and even if it's nuked while you are in the game, apparently there are ways where you can repair it and it's not too bad, so don't worry. Weirdly, I wonder what will happen when people want to make settlements together, like big community built ones. So if I leave the game, does part of the community settlement just disappear? I'm not entirely sure. 7, there are no vehicles. Even though the map is 4 times as big as Fallout 4, we won't be using planes or cars or anything like that. At least Todd Howard confirmed at the time, there are vehicles, but they explode, and he confirmed that we are going to be getting everywhere by foot. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all of the new details I really wanted to stress and get across to you. I thought they were really important. I was very happy to hear some of them, a bit more confused to hear other ones, but I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. My name is Michael. Thank you so much for watching the video. Subscribe for more and get excited because we've got a lot more analysis and deeper content, especially on the leveling side of things, coming your way soon.